bang! Feels good, Chad.
Yes, it does.
Straight ahead, Maryland launched the football playoffs, and Virginia and the WCAC ended their regular seasons.
Of course, all of you guys came here to find out where I'll be going next year.
Sidwell's 5-star student athlete decides where she will attend college. Where will Kiki Rice go? We got the dish.
I've never gotten any smack talk on the field, but I've definitely heard things coming off of the field or you know, behind the scenes.
And 4-year varsity football female starter Emma Slevin talks about being one of the guys. That's straight ahead on High Def High School. Hi there, folks. I'm glad to be back with you. I missed you.
Yeah?
I missed you, Chad.
We missed you, Joe Ball.
This is InRide.com's High Def High School, brought to you by Quality Chiropractic.
As always, we've got all the Friday feels.
While I was in Costa Rica with my bride, Alex was knocking it out of the Parker. Great job on High Def High School last week. Alex Parker, love him. And you know what? It's about that time.
Yes, it is.
This was the last week of the regular season in Northern Virginia. SOCO and LB battled it out last night. Also, Tuscarora and Broad Run. That was a huge game, Chad.
That was a huge game, Joe, and those are two major rivalries. A rivalry with both local and national implications, though. In the WCAC, Good Counsel took on DeMatha. It's senior night in Oni. Good Counsel versus DeMatha in a top 10 matchup to determine playoff seeding in the WCAC. Many anticipated this one going down to the wire, but apparently DeMatha didn't get that memo, bro. Pick it up in the first, and class of 23 running back Brendan Wyatt got the Stags block party started early. He flips the field, twists Good Counsel would-be tacklers around to the tune of a 63-yard scamper. Moments later, freshman sensation Denzel Gardner goes over the top and into the end zone for 6. Stags up 7-0. Falcons' first drive, Frankie Weaver drops back, but it's deflected by Emmett Laws and picked off by Hammy Bayard. Stags back in business, and it wouldn't take them long to capitalize. Wyatt tries the right side, delivers a stiff arm running through a would-be tackler, extra effort, and extends into the end zone. 14-0 lead, still in Q1, and the Falcons are in the danger zone. Second quarter now, and after Nathaniel Owusu Boateng recovers a muff punt, Denzel Gardner takes it up the gut again. 21-0 is your score. The WCAC is a heavyweight division, and two things you can't do: turn the ball over and allow the other team to run it at will. The Stags steamrolled Good Counsel into halftime. In the third now, Frankie Weaver and the Falcons showing life. Long drive, but oh no, Dylan Jones loses the handoff. Bayard gets on top of it again. Turnovers have killed the young Falcons the last 2 weeks. In addition to running the ball down Good Counsel's throat, another bright note is that Blake Kendall's back, and he's linking up with Noah Bitko for the tutty. Kendall broke his ankle earlier this season. The combination of he and Gardner could be lethal. Stags absolutely punished Good Counsel. 28-0 is your final. Coach McGregor's guys won the battle in the trenches.
DeMatha always wants to try to establish the run. And, that was our game plan coming in. And I thought we did a pretty good job with the offensive line.
These two teams will play again next week at DeMatha.
SOCO LB 2021. This game has always had a tremendous amount of hype surrounding it. Early on, though, not many fireworks, at least in terms of offense. South County gave Lake Braddock a short field early and often. They gave up 2 fumbles in the first quarter. Here, LJ Frazier has it stripped, and Abram Smith comes up with it. But with the short field, Lipovsky early on, his legs were working for him. But through the air, he was misfiring in the first half, going for Dylan Corey. Instead, Miles Greer's got it for SOCO. That's a touchback. Early on, SOCO seemed to have a bit of control of that line of scrimmage. Cam Riley running downhill and over Jason Clark. Next play, Jordan Dennis launches one, double coverage all over Brock Spalding. But he's used to that. Doesn't matter. First and goal, 28 yards on the play. Jordan Dennis on second and goal, hands it to Brock. He's wrestling with that defensive line, taking them with him into the end zone. He scores, but this one is called back. And 2 plays later, Lake Braddock blocks Baha Amir's field goal attempt. We're still scoreless. Both teams in the red zone early and denied after a Cam Riley fumble. Braddock on a short field again. DJ Lawrence up the middle, and Brock Spalding says, "Hello there, my friend." Daniel Lipovsky up 3-0 with a short field again in the second quarter. Puts some things together, and here he hits 6'3" Jalen Hoffman, who's got it clearly in the end zone. Touchdown Bruins. This one, however, is called back as well. But a couple of plays later, D-Lips lets it fly. And Dylan Corey grabs it in the back corner of the end zone. This one counts. Lake Braddock takes a 10-0 lead over SOCO. 5:03 left in the half. More sloppiness. Jordan Dennis, not sure if Rara sees this one, but it's bouncing off him, and Corey O'Connor is headed into SOCO territory once again. He keeps going. He's going to wander all the way down close to the red zone and gives D-Lips another short field. They pick up a field goal. It's 13-0 at the half. In the second half, both defenses really stepped up more. Daniel Lipovsky was picked off twice, but the Stallions just could not put an entire series together. Brock Spalding was out of this game early on with a potential concussion. Elliott Miney, the Bruins' best offensive back, not available all season long. Lake Braddock gets a huge win. They were up 20-0 before SOCO put up a late touchdown to finish 20-6.
I thought I saw some clip that said we were going to lose by 3 touchdowns.
Straight ahead, you know what? There may come a day when a female will be playing in the NFL.
That's right.
One of the 2 young ladies you're going to see coming up next might be the first one. And playoffs are coming up from now on. Chad and I are talking playoffs all the way to the WCAC Championship and the Virginia and Maryland State Championship. Road starts here at High Def High School.
In addition to that, Kiki Rice, scholar student athlete at Sidwell Friends, makes her decision. Where will Kiki Rice go? That's up next on High Def High School.
Hold it, partner. You're sitting on a pile of gold. Your car's never been worth more, and we're giving you a way to cash in. At InRide, we buy cars. Problem is, inventory's tough to come by. So now, we're up in the ante. If your car was worth $3 grand, we'll give you 5. If it was worth 10, we'll give you 15. We'll even buy at your lease and pay you thousands in cash. You can just take the money and run. And we'll give you the best offer or give you $500. We'll even bring a check right to your door. Cash in your ride with InRide.
That felt good. That was a good
If you've got arms, legs, a back, if you've got a body, period, you're going to need quality care. And the team at Quality Chiropractic treat you like family, and they heal people.
I love being here at Dr. D'Amato, the girls in the front desk. They make you feel like family when you come in every time.
Healing whole people, not just backs. Quality Chiropractic is here for you. Call now and book your appointment. Quality Chiropractic, adjusting the quality of your life.
Hey, we're going to have a little bit more football action coming up for you in a little bit, but we want to change gears right now. Yeah. Mia Hamm, Serena,
that's right,
Venus, all synonymous with women superstars. Chad got a chance to get out and visit this week with the next one.
That's absolutely true, Joe Ball. Kiki Rice. She has won multiple Gatorade Player of the Years, both in soccer as well as basketball. She's won multiple gold medals with Team USA basketball, and her academic as well as athletic prowess has earned her scholarship opportunities from the top and most prestigious universities in the country. Where will Kiki Rice go? We find out now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are all here for a very, very special moment in a young lady's life.
Kiki Rice, Sidwell Scholar student athlete whose list of offers is as long as that of her accomplishments. The two-sport star was the Gatorade Player of the Year in both soccer and basketball. She's won multiple gold medals with Team USA, all of which made her one of the hottest recruits in the country.
All of you guys came here to find out where I'll be going next year.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
The nation's #1 point guard in the class of 2022 holds myriad offers from top schools, but broke those down to a starting 5 of Duke, Stanford, UCLA, UConn, and Arizona. All amazing programs, all championship contenders, but on November 4th, the 5-star announced she'll be attending UCLA has been knocking on the door of the Final Four, making it to the Sweet 16 4 of the last 5 years.
They're getting a culture keeper. She's going to set the tone for kids that are going to come into their program for years to come.
I connected so well with the players on my official visit and the coaches, so I think I was really drawn to that.
The Bruins currently have the #2 ranked recruiting class in 22, but with the addition of Kiki, they'll likely move up to #1.
I love to pass, score, rebound, defend, do everything, so just a winning player who's going to help cut down some nets.
In her youth, Rice developed her game by playing up against kids older than her and ultimately competing with boys.
I think that really prepared me for the women's game, and I think that it allowed me to develop, quicker than I might have otherwise.
Rice has taken more than her athletic talents to UCLA. A student of the game, yes, but she's equally impressive in the classroom.
She has a remarkable dedication to the things that she cares about. Sidwell's a demanding school.
And as a point guard, Rice will be expected to lead. Fortunately for the Bruins, high character comes naturally.
She is an amazing person on the court, but even better and more impactful off the court.
I'm most excited about the platform that she can create and to have impact on other people.
For Sidwell's Kiki Rice, the recruiting portion of the journey is over and it's on to the next chapter. Westwood, get ready. Here's your next star.
And another major congratulations to Kiki Rice and her entire family. Joe, whether we're talking about the pitch, whether we're talking about the hardwood, and even onto the football field, girls in sports in the DMV are making a difference.
They are, and I got a chance to visit with 2 phenomenal young ladies this week, both delightful to hang out with, and superstars on the football field.
I realize if I'm a girl or not. I have my braids sticking out of my helmet.
Ella Slevin is a 2-year varsity high school athlete in football. She's a role model for Kelsey Nevin, who's just a sophomore, but also a varsity football player at Kettle Run High School.
So I had actually gone behind my mom's back and I'd emailed Coach Porterfield.
For me, I have a young daughter, so when those girls asked if they could play, nothing in me said no.
They are a major part of the team.
And they're starting.
Yeah. No, they're the #1 option.
Though most of her teammates have been supportive, the venture into an unknown world wasn't without struggles.
I'd say the biggest struggle that I have had and have experienced is the communication aspect.
I'm used to dealing with 100 minds of 100 teenage boys.
My first year I was alone in the locker room, and I didn't have a schedule or anything to look at. The boys have a schedule in their locker room. I missed a lot of meetings and would walk in late, and that kind of was very hard on me because I didn't want to feel left out, and I was.
To get that different perspective was, again, eye-opening, and I wrote Ella's college recommendation letter yesterday, And she probably has changed me more as a person than any player I've ever worked with.
Ever since I was a little baby, my family has been huge Pittsburgh Steelers fans, so like football has been a huge aspect of my life, and I've always grown up wanting to play it. So after hearing about Ella being on the team, I was like, I think I could do that too.
Kelsey has aspirations for football beyond high school.
If I want something, I'll go for it.
What is it you want?
I mean, I'm working on kicking for college. That would be like a dream come true to me.
If she continues to develop, you know, she's still so young. If she can get to the point where she can consistently make field goals from 40 yards and in, there's a spot for her on a roster somewhere.
I didn't really necessarily join the team to be a girl kicking on the field, as I think what other people might think. I joined to be a kicker on the field.
Best part about Ella and Kelsey is that they're just, you know, another part of the team, another part of the machine that's helping us win a lot of games.
They're not girls, they're not boys, they're kickers.
Yeah, they're kickers.
Ella and Kelsey have done a great job of really thinking about the program as a whole. It's never been about them as the girls on the team, they've just been part of the team.
You know, at various times on any given Sunday, there are NFL teams that are struggling to find a kicker who can put the ball through the uprights.
Joe, I got to tell you, the Washington football team is facing that dilemma right now.
You know, and one of these two young ladies could easily, I can see them being in the NFL. It's Kelsey's dream, obviously, to play in college. If she stays after it, as consistent as she is and as hard as she works, I can see her being the first woman in the NFL. Yeah. You know, Kettle Run is also a good football team. They finished 9-1 this year as of last night. They are headed to the playoffs, and they have home field advantage throughout. But their road is going to face one of these next two teams.
Now this is the matchup I've been waiting for. Spartans march into Tuscarora for a big-time battle, on senior night nonetheless. There you see a picture of senior Virginia Tech commit Bryce Duke. Broad Run would have to try to stop the real thing, and early on, it didn't go very well. Second quarter, Broad Run leading 7-3, but Duke takes the handoff, finds the hole, and he gone 71 yards to the house. Huskies balk back and take a 10-7 lead just before the half, and Bryce Duke gets loose again. This time, Bryce cuts right, and he's got the green light. He's a poet, and he didn't even know it. 73 yards, a Tech fan celebrated home. Tusky on top 17-7. Q3, and stop me if you've seen this movie, bro. Bryce Duke breaks free again. This is gonna do it. This one's over. Tusky batters Broad Run per usual. But wait, there's a flag on the field. It's coming back. That'd be the turning point. Broad Run with the ball, and my main man, Brett Griffiths, goes up top to VMI commit Isaiah Lamont. Sparty would punch it in from there to cut the deficit 17-14. Fourth quarter now, and Sonny Menino and Duke muff the exchange. The fumble is recovered by Ryan Wozniak, and oh my, how the momentum has swung. 4 plays later, it's Griffiths dropping dimes to Arnav Thornhill. 36 yards for the score, and Broad Run seizes the lead, 20-17. Just for good measure, Alex Estes rolls in from 3 yards out, and Broad Run scores 20 unanswered points. The improbable comeback is complete. The 27-17 victory clinches the Dulles District for Sparty. What a night to be Broad Run. What a night to be a Griffiths.
We made some adjustments defensively, shut them down, created a turnover, 2 turnovers in the second half, and then, you know, even when we got ourselves in trouble offensively, we still had guys step up and make the plays they needed to make.
I'm happy we came out with the win. We're going to enjoy tonight, but tomorrow morning we got to come out and start working again, because this is not our final goal. Our final goal is to win a regional championship. They want to win a state championship, so this is not our final goal.
Huge playoff implications in that game. Playoff atmosphere last night. But you know what, Chad? Those two teams presumably will be back on the field with one another in the not too distant future.
Joe Ball, that's what we saw in 2019, and we are very likely to see it again.
Well, you know what? Chad and I are going to be picking them playoff style. You don't want to miss it. That's coming up.
But before that, Joe, all of this work that we put in on the field, it's in hopes of leading to athletic scholarships. Athletic scholarships change lives, but is that the only way to lead to success? Me and the Grill Crew will discuss as Hyde Up High School is back in session after the break.
Hold it, partner. You're sitting on a pile of gold. Your car's never been worth more, and we're giving you a way to cash in. At InRide, we buy cars. Problem is, inventory's tough to come by. So now, we're up in the ante. If your car was worth $3 grand, we'll give you 5. If it was worth 10, we'll give you 15. We'll even buy at your lease and pay you thousands in cash. You can just take the money and run. And we'll give you the best offer or give you $500. We'll even bring a check right to your door. Cash in your ride with InRide.
Yeah, man.
Playoff Friday feels.
Love it.
A lot of scholarships on that field last night. A lot of
Yes.
scholarships in all the games we covered
Absolutely.
last night. It was a big time Friday night. And you know what? Chad and the Grill Crew are chopping up scholarships right now. Here's this week's Grill Crew.
I want to talk today about athletic scholarships. Joining me, Steve Turner, head coach at Gonzaga Hoops, also U16 Team USA gold medal winner. Of course, Mr. Triple Threat himself, Josh Morgan Green, is in the building, and Stacy Stewart, CEO and president of March of Dimes. Guys, when we speak to athletic scholarships, the refrain is oftentimes that it can change a life. The thought is that within some communities that athletic scholarships, though, are the only way that a student and or a student athlete can change theirs and the trajectory of their family's lives. Do we feel as though we're doing what's best in our young people's in their interests when we preach the athletic side of things, or have things gotten a little unbalanced?
I think the key word you used was we, because I don't think we are the ones pushing the agenda. I think a lot of that agenda is coming from in-home first, certainly from youth coaches and coaches who coach them. But I don't know that the we is institution. So yes, I think we all know that it's also always for years has been a way out. And certainly, you know, I'm a dad who's got a son who's just committed to going to college. I know for us as a family, that was going to be a key way. Certainly, we would have found whatever we had to do to make sure he's going to college. But definitely, I didn't have a check. I don't have a checkbook to go write that check and say you can go wherever you get accepted to. And there's a lot of families who are in that situation now. You know, you add on at this time COVID, you add on transfer portal, you add on now kids getting the opportunity to come back to school for extra year. Scholarships are now even thinner.
Sure.
There's less out there. I have kids who I coach who I think are a certain level and aren't even getting recruited at that level because of everything that has happened in the last 20 plus months. And so when you start talking about opportunity to get a way out, people are definitely looking at it that way now because things are so much different. But I think it's always been there.
No, I tweeted out more recently that, you know, it takes these 12 years in order to earn that athletic scholarship, and that is, again, what can change a life. But doesn't it take 12 years also to earn an academic scholarship, Stacey?
It does, but, you know, this is a really complicated thing because, you know, for a lot of families, I mean, to Steve's point, the cost of college is cost prohibitive. And for a lot of families, the reality is that they may not be able to afford to go to a good college if they don't have the pathway of sports and a scholarship. And that's just the reality. The issue, though, is when we're putting so much pressure on our kids to focus on that as the singular path, we're taking the focus off of an academic focus, which is also important. Whether you get an academic scholarship or not, the fact of the matter is that you need to do well academically to even get into a college, especially a decent college.
Even if you're playing sports.
Especially if you're playing sports. I mean, it's not, you don't replace one with the other, right? And that's what I'm seeing happening a lot, is that sometimes if you got a good athlete, families are putting so much emphasis on that the player and everybody's focusing less on academics. The other thing that's really complicated too is that for a lot of athletes in a lot of sports, you're not even going to get recruited from your school, playing for your school. You're only going to get recruited if you're playing for your club lacrosse team or a travel volleyball team, or your club soccer team. So one of the things that's really another issue is that if your athlete is not able to play on those teams, you're probably not even going to have access to a college scholarship, because you're not going to get seen at tournaments, you're not going to get seen by college coaches, and that is limiting access again for so many families who can't afford that path either. So it gets to be really hard when you're talking about getting recruited for college. I think we need to right size the expectations for a lot of families about what's really possible, what's really realistic, and it shouldn't come at the cost of focusing on the academic success of any student, especially if they're a student athlete.
Josh, and rightfully so, because you're one of the top trainers not only in the DMV but in the country. I believe that parents do a lot of investing to make sure that their student athletes can train with you or with one of the other trainers. Our parents put in that same investment into their students' academics to make sure that they excel in the classroom as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for every household, but I see a lot of times where a lot of people invest a whole lot of money into the sports side. And I'm only going to speak about the grassroots, because both Stacey and Steve talked about kind of the end getting to the scholarship. But the scholarship is the end game, right? And so I think between those younger grades until they get to their senior year, I think we, by mistake, teach our kids a lot of really bad qualities, right? And those qualities being, it almost turns into from going from a team game to being about that individual. You know, like we spoke about last time, how if you have a bad game, but then you still put a highlight out there about yourself.
We talked about that.
We talked about that.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of things, especially in our area, the DMV, it makes our culture sour. You see a lot of fighting at AAU games for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. Like, why are these parents fighting? What example are we showing for our young people, girls and guys? And so, you know, I think people forget that the scholarship is the main goal. And like I said, we're teaching bad values at an early age that then we see it at an older age, and they get to Steve and they're like, Steve's like why is your thought process like that?
Excellent conversation, Joe Ball. That is one that everyone in the community should certainly tap into. Be sure to check out extended versions of that and all of our grill crews at highdefhighschool.com.
And stay right there. Chad and I will be picking them for the playoffs when High Def High School continues right after the break.
Hold it, partner. You're sitting on a pile of gold. Your car's never been worth more, and we're giving you a way to cash in. At InRide, we buy cars. Problem is, inventory's tough to come by. So now, we're up in the ante. If your car was worth $3 grand, we'll give you 5. If it was worth 10, we'll give you 15. We'll even buy at your lease and pay you thousands in cash. You can just take the money and run. And we'll give you the best offer or give you $500. We'll even bring a check right to your door. Cash in your ride with InRide.
That felt good. That was a good
If
one.
you've got arms, legs, a back, if you've got a body, period, you're going to need quality care. And the team at Quality Chiropractic treat you like family, and they heal people.
I love being here at Dr. DeMatha, the girls in the front desk. They make you feel like family when you come in every time.
Healing whole people, not just backs. Quality Chiropractic is here for you. Call now and book your appointment. Quality Chiropractic, adjusting the quality of your life.
It is playoff time.
It is.
Nothing better. In the DMV, let's talk about some 6A Virginia teams right now. Let's start at the top. We're going to start with Madison. SOCO is the defending region champ, went down to the state title game, but let's start with the Madison Warhawks. We got to look at them as probably the big dog right now.
The Madison Warhawks, you cannot help but for them to go into the playoffs as being the favorite right now. Joe, you spoke to this. They lost to Stonebridge in week 1. It was a tough game. You were at that game. Ever since then, this team has rolled all the way through. Alex Dredge making his claim for the #1 running back in the state of Virginia. I believe Madison is the team to beat.
And that defense is awesome. Coach Ray Gordon, as Ryan Salvosa says, teaches them to put you in a phone booth. They're going to box you in. Eric Anderson, they have got some studs. Austin Wysocki, there's actually a lot on that defense now. Love Jake Green. That guy is a big punch in the mouth in a smaller package, but he's a bad dude. on that defense. Let's talk about SOCO.
Speaking of this South County team, Jordan Dennis, Brock Spalding, this entire Stallion team, Joe Ball, we both believe that when the money is on the line, that South County is going to show up, and I think that they'll do just that.
And I got the chance to talk with the coaching staff this week about that West Po game, and I think they were unprepared for that game. And quite frankly, it's typically one of the better prepared teams in the state of SOCO. Tyler Ohlmeyer leading that defense. You alluded to Brock Spalding, obviously the most dynamic player on offense in the state. He's also going to be playing both ways come playoff time.
Ra Wesley may be the key.
Down in Prince William County, could be another route, but somebody that could factor into the state playoffs.
This is arguably the most interesting, the most intriguing team in all of VA football. Of course, we're talking about this Freedom squad, Freedom Woodbridge, I should say, Coach Overton's team. They took Stonebridge all the way to the limit. You were at that game as well. We don't know what happened in that Garfield game, but since then, Woodbridge has put up 80 points, 70 points, 60 points. This team is on a tear, and they're ready to compete for, if not Joe Ball, potentially win a VA 6A championship.
Davis Bryson, his first step is jet quick. This guy's got a lot of speed. Daryl Overton's son is factoring huge on that team as well, carrying the football and playing on defense. As you alluded to, that hiccup, one of the very few blemishes on that team's record over the past 5 years.
My gosh.
Now, Chad, we wanted to talk about just 5 6A teams. Probably the next 2 in line would have been Lake Braddock and Robinson, but you know what?
My gosh.
There's a team that emerged on the scene, 7-0 through week 7, the Fairfax Lions. Then they faced Lake Braddock, they lost. The next week, they faced the undefeated Robinson Rams and knocked him in the mouth.
Ran right over him. Look, Joe Ball, I got to give you credit. You brought national attention, if we might say, to this Fairfax Lions team. Running Tony Rojas, one of my favorite student athletes. Now, Joe Ball told me about you, first young man. You definitely get it done. This Fairfax team, they are a team to be reckoned with.
He's a beast in the weight room. And don't forget, Coach Trey Taylor is a disciple of Jerry Panoni, who's down now in New Mexico. A lot of coaches are glad he's gone. Let's talk about Robinson.
It's Robinson Rams team, Joe. Just a couple of weeks ago, this team was running high, undefeated, rushing towards the top 10. Then, like you said, they ran into this Fairfax squad. That brings up questions about this team. Are they the same old Robinson who gets to the big game and falls? Or does this team have everything that it takes to get it done? I believe in Grant St. Clair.
And I have to say, Chad, I was actually impressed with them beating Lake Braddock, but I would lean more towards the purple and gold. I know I'm a Bruin alumni, but Lake Braddock has got a very strong defense. I know you love Daniel Lepovsky, but that team they're talented.
That's right, Daniel Lepovsky, high-def Heisman candidate, one of my favorite quarterbacks in all of the DMV, Joe Ball. He not only gets it done, but he looks like a model while he does it. All of the other quarterbacks can eat their heart out. He, of course, links up with his wide receiver threat, Jalen Walker. They go deep at least 1, 2, 3 times a game. Braddock is dangerous, bro.
And DJ Lawrence gives him a double threat on both sides.
Yeah, man.
All right, Chad. Let's pick a few games here. We got to pick them.
Yeah, man.
And there's some games not only down the playoff road, but they're happening right now. They are playoffs.
Yes.
Wise and Roosevelt, Eleanor Roosevelt, faced each other a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
What do you think? They're going to face each other again this week?
A couple of weeks ago, Joe Ball, Roosevelt gave Wise everything that they could ask for. Roosevelt went up early, 7-0. Wise ends up squeaking that game out by a final score of 20-14. You should be at this ball game because it's going to be a good one.
And I have to say, if Wise is healthy, I don't think it's going to be close this time. I think they will have figured some things out. They'll have battened down the hatches, and any distractions will be wiped out. Aside from health issues, now you alluded earlier to in our conversation off air that they missed a few games this year, and they might be a little rusty. But aside from any health issues, I think Wise blows Roosevelt out in this one.
Well, I think that they like to call that bulletin board material. So, Rose, you got it right there from Joe Ball. But at the end of the day, Joe, I've got to agree with you, Coach Parrish. They will get things turned around here. This Wise team will get things rolling, and the Pumas take out Rose.
Good counsel will be facing DeMatha in the WCAC playoffs this week.
Very difficult game because, again, these two teams just played. Now they're going to play again 1 week later. Coach McGregor, Coach Stefanelli, do they hold things in the bag this week, or did they give everything out there for the players when they play for real with the championship on the line?
Two monumental coaches, two storied programs. Yes. They've both had their runs at dominance. I have said all year long, Coach Bill McGregor is establishing himself once again. I think that there's no contest in this one. DeMatha goes in and punches Good Counsel in the mouth.
No competition, says Joe Ball. You're just writing things on the wall for every team to be able to put up. I believe in Good Counsel, so much so that last week I picked Good Counsel to beat DeMatha last night. I believe in Frankie Weaver. I believe in that three-headed Russian attack. I believe in Neo Avery getting everything done off of the edge for that Good Counsel defense. But not so fast, Joe Ball. This week, DeMatha turns it around. Big Bill McGregor, that Stags offense gets things going, and the Stags defense does what the Stags defense do. DeMatha wins this game and heads to the WCAC championship.
You know, your library cards are going to be wiped out everywhere. In the WCAC.
Everywhere.
Hey, we want you to come back here next week and every week at 11:30 a.m. Saturday mornings on WJLA 7 News to watch InRide.com's High Def High School, brought to you by Quality Chiropractic. But you know what? You can go online and check out all of our episodes and all of our great digital content at www.highdefhighschool.com, or check us out on our YouTube channel. Just search High Def High School. And interact with Chad and I on social media. Will ya? We want you to interact with us this week. Hey, that's all the time we have. I'm glad to be back with you.
I'm happy to have you, Joe Ball.
And by the way, Alex Parker killed it last week.
My guy.
Did a great job sitting in. We're going to see a lot more of him this year. For Chad Ricardo, I'm Joe Ball. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.